Action Committee will now come to order. Today is Tuesday, March 24th, 2026, and the time is 5:13 p.m. This meeting is being held in person and via interactive conference technology. This meeting is being recorded and will be posted to the Planning Department's YouTube channel. Sunshine Law. Reminder for the Sunshine Law for remote members, please keep your camera on at all times throughout the meeting. Also, please state for the record where you're participating from and whether anyone is in the room with you except for mine. We'll now do a roll call. Committee members present. Ka'ohinani Mokuhali'i.
Here.
Babette Morrow.
Here.
David Kuhivanui.
Here.
Taylor Spurgeon.
Here.
Catherine Williams.
Here.
Kaveni Ibarra.
Here.
Gary David.
Present.
All right, no members are absent. We have a quorum to hold this meeting. I am Chair again, Jason Masters from Planning Department staff. We have Kalelo Kalili, Janice Hata, and via Zoom, Jessica Lahi. Moving forward. So housekeeping, wow, that's fine. Please ensure that your cell phones are silenced or off. If you are here in person and wish to testify, please complete a sign-up form at the front table as provided by staff, and turn it in to the event. If you are joining via Zoom and wish to testify, please use the raise hand feature or send a message in the chat to the Zoom host indicating the agenda item on which you wish to speak. All speakers are asked to clearly state their name for the record before beginning their testimony. For those attending in person, please direct your comments towards the owl, camera and microphone, so participants on Zoom can hear you clearly. So aloha etiquette for today's meeting. As a reminder, we strive to conduct our meetings in the spirit of aloha, maintain an open and positive attitude, listen to understand, respect that everyone has the right to share their ideas and feel comfortable doing so. It is acceptable to disagree, but please do so respectfully. Focus on the issue, not the individual. One person speaks at a time with no side conversation. Minimize distractions by, again, silencing cell phones and refraining from outside work during the meeting. In consideration of everyone's time, please adhere to the established time limit. At this time, we'll do the approval of the minutes. The time is now 5:16 p.m. The committee will consider approving the draft minutes from the January 27th, 2026 meeting. I know I have a couple of corrections, so I will motion to look over the minutes and then move to approve. So, would anybody like to start with corrections?
Yeah, I have one, line 75, Enriquez is spelled with an S, not a Z. So that's fine.
I have one. On line 109, it says clarifying that only portions of a parcel can be amended. And I think that's a little confusing and suggests that perhaps that's a clarifying that portions of a parcel can be amended. Take out motion.
Oh, that was confusing, yeah. Yeah, so clarifying that portions of a parcel. You can do the whole parcel.
Right.
Yeah.
That was one of the questions that came up.
I have one, 103. It should state the Kaʻū Soil and Water Conservation District Board.
All right, and on line 14, David Kuhidanui should be only one A for Kua, then he did line 14.
14. Oh, I agree.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
All right, any further corrections? All right, all those in favor of approving the draft minutes as corrected?
Yeah.
All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, seeing none opposed, The motion carried. We will now move forward with public testimony on agenda item. The time is now 5:18 PM. We will now take public testimony on items that are on today's agenda. As noted on the agenda, members of the public may testify now or when a specific agenda item is called to order. Testimony may be limited to 3 minutes per agenda item. Please keep comments to matters within the committee's scope and related to the item that you are addressing. If there's anyone who would like to testify, again, please fill out the testimony form on the front table and give it to our staff. It looks like we have not received any testimony forms at this time. Are there any Zoom testifiers at this time? So. All right, the time is now 5:19 PM. We will now move on to committee business. Agenda item number 1, letter to Olson Trust. The action committee will consider whether to submit communication number 2026-05, letter regarding proposed Pahala Center along Hawaii Route 11. The action committee may approve the letter as written or with revisions and authorize planning department staff to transmit the letter to the Olson Trust. Babette or Kaveni, would you like to introduce the letter? Has anybody signed up? I don't think we have any at this time. Again, if you would like to testify, please fill out a form and turn it into planning department staff. So I don't think we have any testifiers at this time. So the letter is available, so we don't need to read the whole thing, but however you want to. Okay, perfect.
So everybody in the audience has had a chance to see the letter, so we don't need to read the whole thing. Basically, from the last meeting, the action committee voted that Benny and I would combine the letters that we had presented previously, and the intent is just to review the proposal that's been brought to the committee and for alignment with the comprehensive plan of, the CDP. And it's not our decision to support or not support, but just to outline what we see as alignment with the CDP. So we combined everything together from our 2 letters, and I think we've done a pretty good job of summarizing the issues, and there was just the thing at the end about the land use policy, which we didn't really get into too much because they're talking about changes to the land use policy maps in the which is from like the county, the general plan, as well as in the CDP. So basically.
And make sure to put the microphone close.
This sorry.
Thank you.
I had a lot.
I can hear you.
Yeah, so we pretty much just thanks for that for putting this together. We basically just put it together, like she said. So we included some of the stuff from my over there. But I did have 2 things that I kind of missed that I wanted to go over. In the second paragraph, we said public restaurants, but I think we meant the public restrooms, So if we can make
And that question.
that-
Okay.
So if we can make that revision public restaurants. So, and the only other thing, I kind of wanted to bring this up last meeting, but I forgot to. So on the first paragraph on the last page, there's that kind of last part, the last 2 sentences, as proposed, the development is inaccessible by foot through the Pahala and would require traveling along highway 11. Just to clarify, I feel like it would be this quote that we put distance to it, so it's like 6/10 of a mile from. Central, which is whatever. But I kind of did the math into like the dump is 27. Hospitals. So just to kind of quantify it, you can say. Right, 0.16. But those are my only two things. If anybody else has a visions of the.
It's 0.6 from the highway.
From Mizuno stop to the area where they're trying to.
Oh, okay, so
So 0.6 from.
Yeah. From.
Mizuno.
oh,
Okay, town center to.
Bacteria, but that's original that we're talking about how it's a certain distance. But. That's important.
I don't know that it matters, but. I had 0.9, so I'm just wondering how you got 0.6, so.
Point nine.
I don't know that that third of a mile matters, but,
You did it from Mizuno or?
from the intersection of Kamani and Caucus. So I think that's how they had identified. It. That might be shorter or longer from, who knows, I don't know. But,
That would be shorter if you did it from.
yeah,
We can.
either way, okay, I think it would be good to, add that. Okay.
So which one?
So you're saying from the intersection,
Just from the town center. Is that?
Just say town center.
Okay.
To proposed site, so are we doing a 0.6 or 0.9?
I got 0.6, but I don't know, is there a way for us?
So I think research services.
Yeah, I mean, when I drove, it's your letter, so we can put either way,
Well, if you guys are okay with the 0.6, that's what I got.
sure,
And I use Google.
okay. Yeah, I'm looking at Google Maps, that's why I got the 0.9, but I drove it. And it was under a mile there. But that's to the driveway, so not to the bottom of. I don't know how big the parcel is, but
Oh yeah, I just did it to because they said they were gonna build it. In the section where they had it on the map.
right,
But-
so,
Yeah, you know.
so you just measured to like the other side of the drainage
I
channel.
did the straight measurement with the ruler on Google Earth, but then I also did the mapping into Google
Right.
Maps, so you go and start at. It takes you to the road to.
okay.
Yeah, we can say approximately. It's-
Yeah, I think it's
Town
0.6
center's
to the
proposed
bottom of the parcel, and 0.9. They said they're gonna put the driveway where the previous driveway was approved for,
Well, find this whose blue tapes are, right?
right, so,
The blue tapes, yeah, right?
yeah, that's what I drove.
Okay, so that's the, okay, so.
But, you know, that, it's the following traffic.
Right, so that's where it's kind of flat,
Traffic designated prior to go. That have
Right.
to residential houses, to resident entry, so I imagine this would be the same.
But yeah. you'll-
I guess both numbers are accurate, 0.6 to the parcel and 0.9 to the driveway,
Oh,
so. Whatever the commission, committee decides.
on that way they look at it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with you.
Okay. Any further discussion on this, or would someone like to, propose a motion?
I'd like to make a motion and, disapprove this letter. Because, November 18th. We, vote. The first letter written. In approving just the zone, the reason. That's all we were asking for, should have been. Rezone letter. To whoever they go to and. That. But. Since then. That letter, the first letter kind of got hijacked. So
Okay,
that's my motion. Uh, In the minutes of November 18th, everybody supported the first letter. They were, nobody said no, everybody was in agreement. And since then, it's the thing's gone slightly different direction, it's crazy.
we had a letter November 18th that was proposed from the
That's the one that. We agreed
That was legal.
Yes.
Okay, so.
That's the
For-
first
for
letter.
my understanding, we're only approving the letter. But, let's see where you go.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Can either approve or not. give
Right.
recommend-
Okay, well, I guess, do we wanna have I had more discussion, I guess, so maybe I should have said this first. My only request would be for the applicant.
Need a second to his.
So is there a second?
Taylor made a motion.
Yeah,
Second.
all right, so David Guivenu is seconded. So my request would be for the applicant is that once they do submit to the planning department, that we could see the actual application. So I know this is been kind of conceptual because you want us, you know, you wanted us to provide our feedback on what's potentially being proposed.
Don't you guys want that? Or they go for.
Yeah, I think, so I just
I
say,
see that in the letter, it's kind of like, almost like a. Like a derogatory comment that they haven't offered any permits and stuff.
I think it's just a factual statement. So,
He coming from Kaʻū, always like to have it public and it's, you understand the project before they see it in any kind of black and
I
white,
agree.
any kind of permit application. Then they feel like, okay, they have a chance to.
Right.
Especially when it comes to like, it's very important that we don't, do anything is writing, pressing permits, going for anybody with any hard things.
Right.
Exceptional plans only, so Kaʻū can sign off on that.
Right.
Kaʻū, been very supportive.
Right.
And so we're moving forward with the planning department, the mayor, all very supportive, town council and others, and that's the way we're gonna go. So we'll come back to you when we get our permits. And then we'll let you see, because you guys are all about county. We've been with you guys for 6 months.
Okay,
Got a letter that's not.
Yeah.
You know, that great of a support letter that we thought we worked with, but that's fine. It's a letter from you guys. We'll take it,
right.
put it in our folder, but we are moving forward for your thing, move forward with the permit, and that's what we're.
Okay, well, I will still request for the applicant that once they submit their application, even if it's just to provide a presentation or this is what it actually looks like, just so we can follow up with. Because we've talked about a lot of conceptual plans, so I think it'd be helpful for the community to see this is what's actually being applied.
So I'll work for the community. You guys
Okay.
can come to my community. I have a lot of them.
Okay, well, however
Always
it
welcome to
transpires.
my community. To me, being from this community, that's where my support will need to come from. I wanna make sure living in this community that we give or asking for, which is a gas station. Although we just had to walk out for both Norton and Hilo side.
Right.
Just recently, we're locked into this town. Gas station's important. So our community has spoken and I've listened. And we're gonna continue to have our community meetings. They will always be upfront in our development plan of that property. And you guys are welcome to come to my community meetings. I know Cheryl makes the most of them. Been to some of them as well, but one thing I don't wanna do is I don't wanna have so many excessive community meetings without having new information coming in front of our community. Their time is important. So we're moving forward with the planning commitment, the mayor, and we have support. We're going to move forward as soon as we have new information. We're gonna be always coming from the community and we'll invite you as well.
Yeah, so again, I'll just request, once you have that new information, that you don't have to, it's just a request, that we see that plan. Thank you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, in November, that's what. Also in Charleston, they just ask for this for community support. That's all they want. Before they do anything else, and they got the community support. A lot of meetings that we came to, we already had the support. And we also had the support for our community right here, so. We just gotta get things going, instead of prolonging things. It's just a waste of time. Let's go for the permit. Let's see what happens there.
I agree. Thank you.
Can I make some clarification? Michelle, you wanna go first? No. Okay. Just that, I'm really, I really think that more people should follow the example of Olsen Trust coming to the CDP before going out. That's really important. I think more to come forward for the community to understand what people are trying to do. Although for clarification, the CDP can only clarify what is sustainable under the rules. So what is in compliance and what isn't, and that's our job. We're not allowed to say, okay, we approve your project. We can't blankly give you a letter of support to move forward. We can tell you, yes, you're in compliance here, we're helping you with compliance, that's not in. And then you go to move forward. I know, and then that was the original request and the presentation with John and Dan. That one you weren't there at, you weren't on board yet with Olsen, in the beginning.
Yeah, I understand, because I think we went round and round
We
these
did.
conversations, and I don't wanna bore everybody in line,
So,
so have these
Brenda, can I
conversations.
finish?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I just wanted to clarify, that, we have done our job with creating now this letter, which states what it does, what's in compliance and what isn't, and now we move forward. Case is closed, you've accepted our letter, right?
No, I mean,
No,
Well,
it's not my duty to accept your letter, it's the ones.
I thought you're correct.
They requested.
We're gonna,
I mean, I
well,
think,
we can't go to the planning department and give them a, letter of approval.
of course not.
If they're, right, and so that's why we have.
There's also some stipulations in this conceptual plan that does not align. But where is this magical piece of property that has 3 to 5 acres that we own, that's commercial, that has access to other, potential customers from the highway? We can't support this large, expensive project if we're only depending on the backs of a community of Pahala. We have 2,000 people, that's why nobody's coming out here to invest, it's a big roll of the dice. So we have to support this, and we have to make it, and there's no parcels that can happen, as it says, expand the commercial area. We can't expand Mizuno's shopping center is maxed out.
I think that's why where the CDP is saying in what complies and what doesn't, that's where.
But you're saying that does not comply, there's no way to comply
Right,
with
but
that.
this is where you folks go to the planning department with that information and then maybe adjustments.
I mean, like the letter that we sent to you guys, when you had all these questions, we
Yeah.
sent you letters.
Because,
with
I
all
mean,
these
it was
ideas.
not necessary for us to be told that we were in violation of certain chapter 14 and chapter 5. That was not one to send that kind of information to this board when that's not what we do. And we're not gonna get into that,
Yeah,
but
and like the
So
important ag
so
designation,
simply for
that wasn't designated by
clarification,
anybody from the
that's
state.
that's what's in the letter and why it's in the letter.
So we shared our response to those concerns with others. And I think they understand, so, yeah, it is what it is, I appreciate your time.
everyone's preparing. We can talk about the CDP guidelines and stuff, but remember, folks, we can change the guidelines for the planning CDP. So the guideline is always against our development for our community. I'm gonna make a change. We're gonna hold back our community for stepping forward, living a good life, great job. We gotta change that. And if that's all the CDP is gonna do, go against us, let's get rid of the CDP company.
Okay, well, I don't think we need to discuss that right now, so
We're just
getting,
gonna let you guys know.
okay, yes, go ahead.
Getting back to Taylor's motion. Does the planning staff have the minutes from the November meeting? Where we took a vote, Taylor says we voted to approve the rezone, and I'm just curious to see what's in the minutes.
McKinney's first letter that.
Yeah,
Came
my
right after
understanding
the
is that the motion was withdrawn because, I believe both of you were looking at creating letters, and so some people had talked about whether or not they were or weren't in support. And I think, we wanted to remind people that, you can personally be in support of anything, but that's not our job here, and so, I don't know that, we certainly didn't take a vote, is my recollection.
Yeah, I thought that was, cause now that you say that, I did withdraw my motion, and then I just agreed to write a letter and bring it to the next meeting.
Yeah.
So I don't think we did it, approving that here.
You're trying, yeah. It was.
Yeah, so that's exactly what the minutes are, clarified. All right, so getting back to Taylor's motion, it sounds like it was a motion with some revisions as noted.
Yeah, it's just a rezone letter, it's all around.
No, so then your motion tonight was to approve the letter.
Not approved.
Just
Oh.
approve the current letter and reapprove the one that Ibarra did originally. That's all it was just a rezone letter.
Wait, now,
And now we're getting into something that's, you can't do that. In compliance here and there.
That's.
wait, so your motion is for the original letter,
To the original. letter.
not, and
Which was withdrawn.
No.
so the original.
The original letter.
But that was
No, it's the one before, the one right after they had their meeting, and the next day your letter came on, that one. So that's been with, that's.
Okay, yeah, it's your
Well,
motion.
It's your motion, we can just.
We can vote on
Can
you.
you reread?
So maybe
the motion?
maybe restate the motion, because I think I'm. Wanna make
Okay,
sure.
have Tommy read his motion.
So disapprove, that's what you said.
Yeah.
Disapprove, correct.
Okay, so we can ask for all in favor, we've already had,
All right,
we had a second.
so to clarify,
To vote.
yeah, so regardless of tonight's letter, I don't think we need to disapprove it. So your motion is to approve the Cavani's original letter?
No.
It's to disapprove this letter. And reapprove. Mr.
Well, it was never approved, but
But he seconded,
I think it was.
so we had approval, so now.
no, she just read from
November
the
18th.
if the motion was withdrawn, so we didn't vote. So, I mean, according to the minutes, but that was also my recollection. So it says, committee member. The committee members agree that committee member Ibarra would draft a letter of support and present it at the next meeting prior to finalization. So, well,
There was no opposition to that.
so let me take a step back. Committee member Ibarra withdrew his motion. Committee members agreed that committee member Ibarra would draft the letter of support and present it at the next meeting prior to finalization. So then the next meeting was what, January 27th. So we didn't vote on it. So people could not voice their, in favor or against because there's no vote. So.
So now he's got a motion.
So your motion is
He
to approve
seconded.
Cavani's original letter. Correct. Okay.
And he has seconded, and so now. you can
Sorry.
take it.
For this letter that Benny wrote. And the best letter was discussed at the last meeting. And the committee decided to merge the two,
Yes,
so now we want to go back.
no, he's on.
Well, that's his motion.
That's his motion, and then we just vote on.
Okay, so do we want to have a
We
discussion,
just-
further
yeah.
discussion on this motion? Does everybody understand what's being? Yeah,
I think you were just clarifying that over there, because Cavani had a letter following our November meeting
correct.
that he sent to the committee members to look at prior to the January. And then I also prepared a letter for the committee members to look at the January meeting. So when we came to the January meeting, we had these two separate letters.
Correct.
And then at the January meeting, the committee voted to combine those two.
Correct.
It was for a letter of support. This letter doesn't.
So again, I think that Miriam's effort was to clarify that generally, not generally, that it's not the committee's responsibility to provide letters of support or opposition for a project. So that was the applicant's request, but that is generally, well, not generally, that is not our responsibility, Miriam. I saw clarified at the last. So it's your motion, so you can, whatever you want.
I've let it stand.
Okay.
Jason.
Yes.
I think, just to tag off of that. Anyone, can you hear me? I think what Mariam was trying to clarify at the last meeting was that if there's unanimous support, a letter of support is okay. I think other action committees have done that. For example, the Puna Action Committee has drafted letters of support where there was consensus among all action committee members. But in certain cases, if there needs to be a discussion and maybe members have different opinions, we don't want to call it that, to assume that everyone is in support or has the same feelings about a certain project or conceptual plan. So that's something that we can be mindful of going forward. So I think that's just a technicality that we'll make sure to clarify that before the motion is made for the future. So I don't know, hopefully that helps, but like Honolulu was another example where it wasn't a letter of support, right?
Yeah.
And that's okay. So just wanted to make that clarification.
Do you mind to comment?
Sure.
As the
And
board,
could you just state your name for the,
my name is Scott Ray.
thank you, Don.
We actually got a form here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know who you are.
Has this committee actually taken a vote on this? Oh, everybody, it's all bouncing all over the place, and it seems to me that we're kicking this can down the road too far. Let's just move it on, let people who make the decisions handle it. Well, one thing that I just learned recently, I think should be a big thing in the decision on this is got a friend who's a bus driver. She does the Ocean View to Pahala Run. And just recently, the bus company has pulled the pumps out of their station up in Ocean View. She's making those poor bus drivers have to drive into the Ocean View Market gas station to fill up. If we can put a gas station down here and make the lives of those bus drivers and all the students a whole lot simpler, let's get it done. Thank you.
Right, thank you, John. Is there any other, so we do have a motion. Is there any other further questions or comments or testimonies from, yes, Sandra.
Making reference to letter of support, but in this draft, so sorry. We're making reference to a letter of support in our conversations back and forth with each other, but in this draft, it says regarding letter,
Which draft?
the one that you guys drafted.
I didn't draft any, but which
The
draft?
The one that we're talking about.
Oh, so tonight, not the one that's, so his motion was for the
Okay, so we're
November.
still on his motion right now.
That is not for, his motion was not for tonight's vote.
Okay, so let me get back to that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, but the motion was to disapprove the letter that was presented tonight.
So I don't really understand, it hasn't been approved, so I don't know what the disapprove
okay,
means,
he's-
maybe that's just me.
Um,
We're just ignoring tonight's letter and his motion is for, okay, ignore, whatever you wanna call it. So it's not for tonight's letter, it's for the letter on November.
no, okay, hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, so we have this draft
Okay.
and he is he is saying he does not want to, his motion is not to approve of that. But he's tagging on his motion,
Okay,
is not to approve this,
no, I understand,
but he wants to go back and approve the
I
other.
understand.
That letter was already
I'm
rejected.
just
So
saying,
you
we
have
don't
a-
make motions to not do something, it just seems,
You can, yes, you can.
okay, just.
For-
all
for a
right,
letter?
I respectfully made a motion to do something. Okay. So, all right,
So can we talk about this letter or not?
No, so what, he's already second, so what we can do is take a vote on whether we're going to follow, we're gonna go with him, and then someone else, if you don't like the outcome, someone else can make a motion to approve it. His motion right now is he's putting out there that he doesn't want the letter, the draft that came out tonight in tonight's packet, not to be approved, and he would like to add on that he would like to go back to the letter that Benny wrote. So, Benny's letter was never, was
withdraw.
withdrawn. So,
I just need to
anybody,
second.
all we
I
need is a
believe-
vote right
It
now.
was
That's
it
all
was
we need is a vote.
All right, so I guess we'll just have a
So,
vote.
have a
at this
vote.
time.
Yeah, all who are in favor of his motion, say aye.
Well,
I think we have to do.
yeah, let's do it individually, cause that might get confusing. I mean, there's a reason it
Okay,
was
then
withdrawn, was I
take
think
a
some of
roll
us didn't.
Take a roll call vote.
Yes. You good? Okay. All right,
Roll call vote for. Oh. Oh, accident. Okay, so roll call vote on his motion.
all right, so. One, two, three, and listen. Huh? Oh, okay. All right, trying to keep in the same order, so, yes.
No, go ahead.
All right, so the motion is to not approve tonight's letter and approve the letter from November 18th,
With withdraw.
which was previously withdrawn. Okay, so, David, who even? Yeah, he had second on the motion, so this is a roll call vote, so if you're in favor, please say aye. If you're not in favor, please say ole or no or nay. So, David Kuhibanui, just say aye, right? Kohinani Mokuhali'i,
No.
Taylor Spurge. Babette Morrow,
No.
Catherine Williams,
No.
Kaveni Ibarra, Gary Davis.
No.
And I will also vote on it. So I believe that is
It's
6-2. So the motion does not pass. So do we have another motion?
Yeah, I have another motion.
Yeah.
I'd like to motion to approve the letter that I drafted, or that me and Babette drafted for tonight with the revisions that I made.
All right, do we have a second?
Second,
All right, second,
David, you can give it to Gary.
so seconded by Gary Davis. All right, so we will do a similar, is there any discussion, further discussion on tonight's letter?
Yeah, if I can start,
Yeah.
I did that because, well, it was kind of a process, so that's the democratic process. I would have liked to have my original letter go on, it would have been fine, but since other members had their different concerns and stuff like that, we put it together, and this is what we came up with, so I'm comfortable with the fact that we can get this on for now. And if the project does come back, maybe we can have a different letter that comes out in the future, but I'm comfortable with what we have today,
As with the corrections we made.
with the correction.
All right, so any further discussion or questions? All right, so it sounds like the motion is to approve the letter with the revision we made tonight. So again, so please say aye if you're in favor, or nay, or otherwise if you're opposed. David Kohivanui, Taylor Spurgeon,
Oh,
Kohinani Mokuhali'i,
Yes.
Babette Morrow, Catherine Williams,
Yes.
Kaveni Ibarra,
aye.
Gary Gators,
Aye.
and I will also vote aye. All right, so it looks like 6-2, the motion passes. We will now move forward with the county, with agenda item number 2, county facilities in Ocean View, discussion and potential action regarding the need for an animal control center, police station in Ocean View. The time is now 5:54 p.m. Business item number 2 is called to order. If there's anyone who would like to testify regarding business item number 2. No? Yes, Michelle.
I'm not. Say a few things.
Could you please state your name for the record?
Michelle Grimba, council member for District 6, which includes Ocean View and Volcano and South Fun. So about these two items, we, since becoming a council member, it's been priority of mine to try and get a animal control facility in the district. So I've been working on that and trying different ideas. I think at the last meeting that I was at, I might have said that we were really, really close to getting one in Ocean View, but it slipped through our fingers. The last minute, it was in escrow and everything, and that we were gonna buy a house that had kennels already set up, but yes, yeah, it slipped through our fingers. So that we're kind of back to the drawing board. I am working on another idea. Maybe I can get folks' thoughts or the else's thoughts about this. It is very much still just very conceptual. I've talked to a few directors at the county. I haven't talked to the mayor about this yet, so you hear about this. We'll talk to them tomorrow. You're hearing about this before the mayor. So what I'd like to do is actually make the animal control facility on the county property that is off of Kaʻū Road, which is the same property that the transfer station is on, but it's way up. I've never liked the idea of having the animal control facility at the same entrance as the transfer station, just because mentally I just don't like that. But now there's the county has kind of improved the road off of Kaʻū. And so I think we put the animal control station on that bottom part of the property. With a different entrance, so hopefully not that idea getting in people's minds. And so it's county property that will help. We will need to build it, but we could start small and work out from there. I think the main thing is really just to have some kind of facility and a small office. It could just be a mobile office, space for an animal control officer to be out here in Kaʻū full time, because otherwise they have to drive from either Kona or Hilo just to come out and address some of the concerns that we have here. So that's a new concept for animal control. Like I said, there'll be a transit shelter rather than a full shelter. So if animals are found here, then they would be at this site for just a few days and then take it to either to Kona or the Puna animal control station. So does anybody have any thoughts on that?
I know it's a big piece of property.
It is a big,
The one in Wyoming.
yeah,
Okay.
you know. right, yeah. Kaʻū Road, it goes from there all the way up.
Right.
Yeah. If anybody has.
I know exactly where that is. I could almost throw her off that.
Might be a little bit more work.
I don't know that we would notice, maybe, there's a lot of them.
One thing, Michelle, at a meeting up in Discovery Harbor several years ago. The discussion was that there just were not any animal control officers. Has that changed since that meeting?
Well, they come out, but they have to drive.
Even then, the talk was that they only had a few officers and the vehicles they had were not very reliable.
The vehicles have been addressed. They have newer vehicles, yeah, they're crazy. Even by county standards, they were very, very old. And staffing is an ongoing issue. It's very, very difficult to get people to do this job. It's not an easy job. It's stressful to deal with other people's stray and abandoned animals. And you need to be an animal lover, and yet you have to, not the nicest. So it's an ongoing thing. We're actually even we have right now we have an acting administrator. She's really good. We're even having a bit of trouble in that level. So it's a hard job. So if anybody you know that to take on her job.
Do you see this being tied in with the local sheriff's office down here? Will they totally separate?
Oh,
entity?
yeah, no, I think the police station is a completely different thing. And just to address that is a priority for the mayor. I wanted to talk to him about funding priorities for this year. Ocean View, a police station in Ocean View is something they really need to work on. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen anytime soon, because it takes time. First, you gotta get the funding to design and then construction, so, but it is recognized as an important priority that having the main station in Holiday was not as effective as having the main station in Ocean View, need holding facilities up there and better facilities, just so that police officers can respond more rapidly to situations. So that's.
With the animal control center, would the Hilo and Kona places be able to handle DMT? Because I know I have a friend in Ocean View that had a pack of 10 or 14 dogs. That sounds sometimes actually terrifying. So for that many animals into that we might expect to come transit up, do you think people be able to take those off our hands, or
They will do their best. Yes.
That might necessitate maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I think having the 10 or however many we start out with here is gonna help probably 10 more. And then potentially, if they're staying here and if they are just lost, then there's a better chance that the owner doesn't have to go drive so far. Yeah. So. And having an animal control officer space is pretty good.
So just to clarify, so at this point, there is not a dedicated animal control officer for Kaʻū, is correct?
No, there isn't. Yeah, they come out as whenever they can.
Okay. I've never seen one in my whole life, but yeah.
We do have a couple employees that actually live out here.
Oh.
Go in, so that would be great for them as well.
So currently, if they went up to Ocean View and were able to. I've worked with animal control in previous positions, and it seems like every time you're called out, then you go out there and there's nothing there. So a lot of times it's hard to actually track it down. But so if they were able to find these animals, currently they would take them from Ocean View or wherever in Kaʻū and then to either Hilo or Kona.
Yeah, they just have to put them in the truck, and so there's, you know, they're only probably can put,
And then we'll go back.
yeah, 3 or 4 at the most in the truck, so, yeah, pretty limited. Truck all the way back, we have the next day, so, yeah.
Is there a high vacancy rate in the animal control division?
Oh, yes, constant. Constant.
It's a tough skill. And so we should, yeah, we should have people state your name. I know who you are.
Shaven Crysdale, resident of Wauhinu, can't throw a rock at the location you're suggesting, but my question is there a historical, did Wauhinu ever have a pound?
Not to my knowledge, I think at one point there was some cages, by the, public works. Place where you could put some animals, and that was, you know, that we haven't had that for years, that wasn't such a great situation. But yeah, that's been the extent of our facilities.
Yeah, that was the old jailhouse.
Yeah, the wood, yeah.
I used to live right next door, we would play in.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions from the community or the public for, Councilmember Galumbo?
But then, yeah,
Yeah.
if anybody thinks of or comes across, a facility that already has kennels, let me know, because that would be even faster, that was what we were kind of hoping to do, so I've been. Like, that ODU facility was a constituent bringing it to my attention, so would love to hear folks hear of anything that, even if it's like an agricultural warehouse, something like that, where zoning would be very to put in panels.
Do you have a number on where most of the calls come from? Like Ocean View or?
Yeah,
Most
most
people
of
would
those,
do it.
yeah, I mean,
So they don't get a better place, but yeah.
yeah. That would be, I mean, there's pros and cons.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't think about it until just now, so I haven't looked it up, but is there a law in the books, I'm guessing, about like abandoning animals? Cause I think a big part of the problem in Ocean View is that people, and that's what these dogs are, that they're abandoned and oftentimes hunting dogs that people no longer want.
It is against the law.
I just wanted to clear.
You'll get fined, but if you go to courts, and have to catch you, so.
But harder to,
But it is against the law. Sure, yeah.
Thank you.
so we will continue our conversation on business item number 2. Is there any other discussion regarding the animal shelter? The second part was regarding a police station.
That the area is kind of priority.
For the
And the police.
Oh, and
To give some data.
so ironically, I haven't noticed in our CDP that it mentions anything regarding animals, certainly not animal control, which I think is interesting. But it does talk about a police substation in Ocean View, and so policy 5.6 and 5.6.2, so procedurally, I don't know that we could, I guess we could provide a letter saying that we're in favor of a new animal control facility in either Ocean View or at any potential location within Kaʻū. I was thinking when I heard this at the mayor's meeting at the Not Lady Clubhouse, that I was thinking about the Wauhinu, the prior jail. I think that building is kind of still there, or at least there's another building there, so I don't know. We used to be able to go up there when we were little kids and we'd ride the bike and play in it, but now they fence it off usually, so I haven't taken a look.
Still on the top.
Right, so there's still a structure there, number one, and number two, it's a county facility, so that's my thought for the matter, yes, so,
I'll talk to Neil.
okay.
I don't,
Good idea.
I think at this point, since She's, I don't think we. Because she's already. Going to have me.
Okay, so you're working with the mayor about this, at this time. I have not created a motion. Does anyone have any further discussion or questions, or would anybody like to? Create a motion regarding this business item?
So can I ask one question? My
Yes,
hand
Kathy.
was up, but I guess you didn't see it.
Sorry.
You now drop because the property was no longer available?
Wait, we lost you there. Could you say the whole thing again?
Is the proposal for a police station or substation in Ocean View now mute because the property was lost?
No, that was the animal control facility, the potential animal control facility, which was, the county was gonna purchase a house and the owners decided not to sell it to the county.
Okay. So
The
is there a
police-
proposed spot for a substation in Ocean View?
No, there isn't, but there is, it is a priority of the mayor to start designing and planning for not a substation, because we already have a substation, but a full station with holding facilities. So that is,
Okay.
that is an official priority.
As a resident of Ocean View, I fully support that motion.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we, have an update from Michelle Kalimba, our councilwoman, at our next meeting or following meeting, depending on her schedule, regarding the police station and the animal shelter, since she is already working on it with the mayor's office.
Okay, I think that's a great idea, and I will second that. So we can vote on this motion. Did everybody hear it? Yes? All right, so all those in favor, Antico's motion to bring this back at a future meeting, as I guess, consistent with the progress, from our council member, Michelle Kalimba, and her availability. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? All right, seeing none, the motion carries. We'll now move on to third-party report. Oh, so we'll now move forward with public testimony on matters not on the agenda. Is there anybody here or via Zoom that would wish to testify on any item that is not on the agenda? All right, seeing none, we will move forward with third-party reports from government officials. I know we kind of just had one, but pursuant to Hoy's Senate Bill 405, signed into law as Act 72, the committee may receive and discuss information from third-party reports by any government official that are not listed on the publicly noticed agenda. The committee may not make decisions on matters raised only through third-party reports until a later meeting where the agenda gives notice that the committee may take action on the matter. I believe we were hoping for such a thing, and I do not see them here, and we have not heard from them. So we will move forward with proposed new business items. Yes.
Can I say a couple things?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are still under third-party reports from government officials. Councilmember Gilliland.
And that I'm probably forgetting to say a lot of other things, but a couple of things is the Honolulu survey is closing on March 31st, so if you haven't done so already, please fill out my Hulu survey. And after that, I will be putting all the results on a website. Probably it'll be called hulusurvey.org, but I'm not 100% sure yet. And but name with address locked away, but it'll be something like that, and I'll put it out there. And I'm also looking to get some funding for facilitation and planning to create this plan for Honolulu based off of survey, and we'll have like focus groups that. So I'm working on getting some community planning process. But if you haven't already, please participate in the survey. We have over 267 responses so far. Yeah, really happy about that. That's more than I thought. So wonderful. And only, I think, less than 5% are from outside of Kaʻū. And as far as this damage for the Kona Low, just want to let you know that defense is asking for people to report damages that you had. So you just go to the civil defense website, and they have a couple different links for like commercial, residential, and even I think a rescue link for asking for help. Another resource is Vibrant Hawaii, got some funding to help people with helping with that damages. And then if you happen to be a farmer, please report your damages to farm service agents. They will probably have some funding to help clean up and damages to farm.
The funding for Honolulu is for what?
Oh, to do like a to get a facilitator, and just basically, so someone that can help, who's very good at helping facilitate a conversation. People, have strong feelings, and so you need someone who's been kind of a little bit outside of the community so that they're objective, and have those skills. It's like a special skill to be able to lead a meeting that is very energetic. Yeah.
Michelle,
Yes.
Farm Bureau also has a grant that just came up for.
Oh, right, yeah, the farm, actually, it's, isn't it, you're talking about the, Department of Agriculture, right? That one?
Yep.
The 1500 Farm Bureau too.
Farm Bureau too just came out with one for, yeah, that's another one that just came out. So they're all kind of, the ag people are all kind of coming together and joining. Sorry, ag people are coming together to help out farming communities with, damages from the storm. Yes, sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. All right, moving forward, proposed new business. Do any committee members have items to propose for a future agenda at this time? Yes, Lilith.
The Green Sands Mark Twain Emergency Access that was originally brought to our attention by Captain Ron Ebert in November 2024. Yeah, we had some updates from the planning department, and I'd like to bring that back for discussion in our next meeting. And I have a question if I believe that the two of us can work on a project without forming your pig.
Correct.
And I'm wondering, Catherine, just gonna see if she wanted to talk about that before the next meeting, but it's okay if I contact her and
Yeah.
I can bring something to.
As long as it's only you two discussing it, then we're fine with sunshine.
Great, thank you.
I have something, everybody got damage all over the island. And in Waiokino, our road got closed up there. And so everybody's repairing all the roads, and they're cleaning up their, the wiping volume store and all the yards up there. They're all cleaning up their yards. But And right around the corner there, right by Kolohau Church. Something happened and breached through where Kawakami lives across the street there, almost took his house out. So it's like, how do we know, or how can we look into what happened up in Powell Springs to cause all this damage? Is it county, state, federal?
All right, it looks like our council member, anybody that I propose.
Yeah, so, Lynn Oliver reached out to me like right away, let you know about this, and so I talked with Neil Acevedo, and he says he has set up a drone to look all up in there, because it is a county drainage thing. So, I haven't heard the results from that yet, but they are, you have a drone and they are looking at the entire system. Yeah, I think, that's what my dad said too. There's something is not right up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're doing all this cleaning and they're repaving now up there. But you know, we're gonna start fixing up the.
Start.
Oh, yeah, they were down there. I know the flood control is full. And well, you know, I went and looked and usually it's like 25, 30 feet in the level of rock. But
I think it's both. I think it's both just like massive water and also that.
and then the last storm, that Hobbit house up there, Jacob,
Yeah.
and he got mangled, I mean, his whole house is full of mud. That was because somebody was bulldozing up there. You know, kind of shifting the land around, and well, you know, it's all secret land.
Right.
It shouldn't really be touched too much, because there's a lot of people living up there now. I don't know, a lot. But there's more.
A lot more.
A lot more people moving in, so.
So if, you know, as a viewer is something that can we ask for an update? Can you get an update for us for, maybe our next meeting?
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, that would be appreciated.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michelle. Oh, I got something on. I don't know if it's about us, but the Wyoming Park restroom, that have been ordered for the last 10 years. Is there any, you know, for the Wyoming Park restroom, you have a lot of people filling water. And that's another thing, the water filling station there, is I don't know what drastic this thing. Concrete or something over there, there's like water everywhere, going onto the highway. The water filling station is really big, the restrooms, you know, they have got like about 3 luas over there. And it's probably about $500 each lure a month, so it's probably about $1,500 a month, just for renting that. It's been like that how many years, and we spend all the money renting. Maybe we should start looking to finally, you know, I don't know if there's any things going on with the county about fixing those. I'm sure there is.
Yeah, my recollection is that they were under design.
Yeah.
And then that was the last we
I
heard.
mean, when people,
How many years it focused?
yeah, I mean, when you guys come and fill water, but if you have an event there where you have 200 or 300 people, you know what I mean, and you gotta, poor guys, you gotta.
Provide.
Only got those blue ones and they only get clean, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, I'm not sure.
He was saying he's working on down to after the meeting. You're gonna work on that after.
Well, they're still very, you
I'll
know.
talk to him about
Okay.
That's all I got, but.
I
it. A
had,
lot of these small things, we cannot come out and do.
Oh, she's back.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I,
But Beth, did you have a question for Catherine?
Oh, Catherine, I was just talking while you were gone about maybe getting together and working on this Green Sands Marsh Plain emergency access. The 2 of us can work together without forming a big, if you're agreeable to that. And you don't have to, I don't want to put you on the spot, but you were on the original bid, so that's why I suggested here.
I had one last item.
Okay,
For Michelle. Michelle, can you find out what's happening with the Pahala pool? We've had that, there's trees growing in it now. It's been, they went halfway through and I don't know if they ran out of money, but what's happening with that? Our school and our community needs that pool back.
So it is, I know it sounds like a broken record, but it is the truth. It is a priority of the mayor to fix the Pahala pool, the Pahala lights, and the Naalehu lights for the ball fields. The Waiahinu, restrooms, yes, those are all top priorities for fixing things in our district. And yeah, I mean, it's a long, sad story why it hasn't been fixed already. And a lot of it has to do with just us being so far at the contractors coming from Oahu and those kinds of stories, but it is definitely on his radar. The day before the big storm, Friday afternoon, sort of talk stories. We did talk about things that need to get fixed in Kaʻū, and specifically talked about pool and Pahala and the lights and the restrooms. So they are top of mind for the administration.
thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, so we have Green Sand subdivision, follow up with Wauhinu flooding / flood control, and hopefully Neil Acevedo can provide an update. Wauhinu Park, the restrooms, and the water filling station, Pahala pool renovation, and I added both Pahala and Naalehu field lighting. I think this is a good start. Does anybody have any other items to propose at this time for a future agenda? All right, so if you do not, or rather, if you have additional ideas, please email myself or the vice chair, or the community development team. Community development plan team at cdp@hawaiicounty.gov. And members of the public may also certainly email them or contact myself or Happy Kaʻū, and we will try to agendize it as soon as possible. So seeing no further proposed items, we'll move forward with agenda item number 10, announcements. The first is Kaʻū Forest Reserve Management Plan update by Department of Natural Resources Representative Ian Cole. Is Ian here today? Ian, would you like to provide an update? And you can come up here if you like.
You may not.
Hello. Hi, name is Ian Cole, with the Division of Forestry and Wildlife in Gila. I'm the wildlife manager. And back in 2012, the division came up with a management plan for the upper reaches up here in the Kaʻū Forest Reserve. And I kind of realized that nobody had done an update. So I kind of want to come talk story with you guys and just let you know where we were at. Since 2012, most of what the actions that I probably speak to and I've been involved with are the progress of the fencing units that are going on up there. The map there shows the first unit that was done actually prior to my time. I was involved a little bit, but I did not do any fencing, but that was probably done shortly after the 2012 plan was approved. The Oilevi unit there. Since then, we've come to the south of there, and we just buttoned up the next unit, which is Namanu. We still have to show up on that map. I apologize for some best maps. But the Oilevi unit was done back in 2017, and the next unit over for the management plan we worked on is called Namanu. And that's finished to this, kind of the southwest there. Going forward, the stuff to the northeast, the yellow and pink portions across the managed schools and the Nature Conservancy parcel are out for bid for contractor right now to do those additional fence units. Along top straight line is the White Volcanoes National Park boundary, which we're building off of right now. That shows 2 units there, the pink and the yellow. For management purposes, we actually divided it into 3 units. So that's the same approximate area as we are going to be doing the construction of the fence unit. But it will have 2 divider fences in between, making 3 units and just under 5,000 acres. That's kind of what I just wanted to do. I know back in 2012, I wasn't involved with the management plan so much. I got involved later with the fencing progress, but if anyone's around, I wanted to kind of let you know where we've got to with the process. Any questions?
Any questions from the committee or the public for Mr. Cole?
All those areas that you discussed are all fenced.
No, sir, the one in the middle of the red says Willie by is fenced currently. And then.
Willie by?
Yes.
That one's.
Yeah, and then if you go down to the southwest, I apologize. Can you scroll to see the other map is on, there's other 2 maps. See if it's on.
I thought. I just.
Yes.
There to the southwest, there's another fenced unit, would be kind of, it's smaller than Willie by, it comes off the map. Includes that piece of the 1950 flow. Each of the
There it
bottom. There it is,
There it is.
dash.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's still Willie by. I'm sorry, I don't have the right map. It's off to the southwest. There's another fence unit there, and the ones that are colorful. Multiple colorful lines is the next phase.
I have a question again. So you guys are getting your management plan, so are you guys putting out a call for consultation soon, or? Like with community, or?
I don't know, they did it extensively in 2012.
Yeah.
So I didn't have an opportunity prior to just getting involved. But I've been wanting to just at least update where we've gotten to for the process of the management plan. Oh, okay. I'm happy to answer further questions, but we got it in PR, or it's not my forte, so thought I would come out as the person kind of on the ground managing some of this, just at least an update.
Okay, well, if you guys do put out a call for consultation, can you let our committee know so that and we do could refer people to.
Yeah, of course, yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
What do you describe the forest? That you're, I guess in that entire area, that. Assuming it's Ovia.
So if you look at the map, just figure right and left, so it's at north and south. The dash line one is primarily okay, a large stature. As we move to the right of that map, it moves into a big old dominated forest. It is at the top. I did put the link to the management plan. There's a pretty good match there for forest types up there. Been in a lot of forests in Hawaii, it's pretty actually amazing. Some of the stature of the core forest, as you move towards Kama, all up to the right there is massive, but coolest that I haven't seen in my life, size wise or ginormous. And then it's intermixed with some younger lava flows. The pink line, the outer pink line, the furthest right is purple. There's a couple flows that come down. Not really young, but they're noticeably cooperative soil. Like really clean. The longer reaches of the cover forest reserve are really clean and weeds. Yeah, as you get down, there's all kinds of crazy stuff and weeds, but up there it's very cool. But yeah, I do recommend looking at, if you have a chance, you're interested, the link to the management plans there, it's got really good bird and forest data. If you're curious.
Yeah, it shows the different vegetation types.
Yeah.
So that's the canoe, what do they call it? The canoe forest, if you go over towards Kapapalo?
Canadian forest is off the map, it's probably underneath the inlet map over there. It's on the edge of the Kaʻū Forest Reserve. Yeah, it's a little bit off the map.
How would you say, like, for the Ovia forest, the health of it, is a problem here with rapid Ovia death, that
Knock on wood, I don't see rapid Ovia death up there, whereas I see so much down below, it's very disheartening. Down below is really great. But up there so far, the health seems really well. I don't know if it's elevation, cold, or I can't really speak to what it is like. Different reasons why rapid Ovia death is everyone where it is and where it isn't, and they don't all align, so I don't think we fully understand what's going on.
Do you, at what kind of, at what elevation does it kind of start to get the feed? Do you have an idea?
It's been a while since I walked it down. I know the lower reaches off the old King lands are pretty well impacted. Up for a couple thousand or 1,500 feet. When I've flown from Kaʻū up, you definitely see the rapid Ovia death. A ways up there, then it cuts off. I don't know if that's the first wave or what, but and it's unfortunately from at least what shows there is TNC, to my experience, going back towards normal fall is pretty impressive. Or actually rapid Ovia death back some.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions or comments, either from the public or via Zoom for Mr. Cole? All right, seeing none, we will move forward with the Waiʻōhinu Transfer Station update. Thank you, Mr. Cole, for your update. We appreciate it. So to provide some background, at the September 23rd, 2025 meeting, the committee discusses expanding the Waiʻōhinu Transfer Station's days and hours of operation to better serve the community, including a proposal to add a fourth operating day. County staff shared that this could be considered once additional staffing is in place, and noted that any changes will be made step by step, beginning with hiring a supervisor. So unfortunately, the Solid Waste Division reported on March 17th of this year that there has not been progress in hiring a supervisor for Waiʻōhinu. So if anybody knows somebody that is willing or eligible or otherwise able to be the supervisor, please apply with the Solid Waste Division. As some of you might have noticed, Ocean View has been open on Saturdays for the past 2 months. So apparently usage has been low. I'm not aware of, if there's been marketing efforts that maybe people don't know about it, or maybe on Saturdays, people go to Waiʻōhinu. Regardless, as a result, the division is considering returning Ocean View to a 3-day schedule and possibly shifting that extra day to the Waiʻōhinu transfer station. Currently, there's not enough demand to support adding another day at Waiʻōhinu, and the supervisor position obviously remains unfilled. The Pahala transfer station, due to subsistence issues behind the chute retaining wall, will have a safety barricade installed. Well, it says that it was recently installed, but I don't know, given the recent rains that occurred. But so the idea is to prevent vehicles from backing up to the chute. So it's a safety precaution to allow the station to remain open. I know somebody recently said it was closed. well, they told me that today, so I don't know if anybody from the public has been out there this week, this afternoon, I believe this morning. Was closed. So again, the safety precaution will allow the station to remain open, but will require station users to carry their waste a short distance from their vehicle to the chute. Emergency repairs to address the subsistence issues are currently being planned for since the week of April 20th. So, and will require a temporary closure of the station at Valhalla. So additional details will be provided beforehand. So I believe you would have to contact the solid waste division. That's all we know at this time. Moving on with the Naʻaleu Post Office speed feedback sign update. We have worked with the Hawaii Department of Transportation. They are currently awaiting the processing of an electrical contract needed for the installation. So a speed feedback sign, those are the ones that tell you how fast you're going. They start blinking if you're going when the sign relieves is too fast. So HDOT has encountered challenges in securing a contractor and is actively exploring alternative solutions to expedite installation. The speed feedback sign updates will be provided as the project progresses, and we will be sure to notify you. So, another thing that was brought up, I believe my Uncle David Kuhivanui, is about a proposed stop sign on South Point Road. So there's concerns raised about the traffic safety at the bottom of South Point Road, where it forks to the left, or I guess that'd be easterly, towards Kaulana for the boat ramp, and the other obviously going towards Kalai or the cliffs or the lake house. So recent communication with the Department of Public Works shows that the county maintains approximately 11 miles of South Point Road, including the portion at the intersection that we're speaking of, South Point Road and Kalai Road. Kalai Road, it states, is under jurisdiction of the state, so which adds some complexity. So the planning department will coordinate directly with the Hawaii Department of Transportation and the Department of Public Works to pursue the request. So once we have an update, we will let you know. So, and for the public's knowledge, a request for signage can be submitted through the Traffic Division's website at hawaiicounty.311service.com. So 311service.com. Moving forward, I believe it was Taylor that mentioned a DMV kiosk in Kaʻū, and also, oh, were you gonna provide the, yeah, okay, and I will allow Vice Chair Cody to provide them.
Okay, so good, that was a really good suggestion, and so we were able to get an update. So apparently how it works is there is a vendor who works with an entity or sponsors, example, let's say Safeway, to be willing to place a kiosk in their establishment. So what I was able to make contact with the kiosk vendor and their contact person. He informed me that the first step is to take a demographical study to determine if it's feasible to place a kiosk in there. That information has been given. We've already transferred emails and information, and he has already initiated that procedure. So they're doing the study as we speak, and we should be getting some kind of response from him. When he does contact us with further information, at that point, we would need to find out if there is a establishment that is willing to do that. And I've kind of reached out there, but I can't say I have an answer. But it's in the works.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
So we'll see what happens. So thank you for that. And that's all I have at that.
All right, if there are no further testifiers or proposed items for the next agenda, the next meeting is tentatively scheduled for May 26th, 2026 at the Naʻaleu Community Center. I will apologize apologize to Ocean View residents. We have had some difficulty in securing, one of the Ocean View locations, so we will return to Naʻalehu again on May 26th, 2023. The time is now 6:43 PM, and I will now adjourn the meeting. Thank you.
Yes.